This image is actually one of the very last photos from the shoot, and honestly, at the beginning it looked pretty boring. Soft light, no structure, and I only had a few minutes left, so I changed one thing completely and suddenly the image worked. What exactly made the difference? I will show you now. Hi, I'm Tanja, a portrait photographer based in Düsseldorf, Germany, and today I want to briefly take you behind the scenes of this editorial shoot. I will show you the lighting setup and afterwards I also give you a quick look at the editing. I shot this with my Sony Alpha 7 Mark III and the Sony 85mm f1.8. So nothing particularly new and as usual unpaid recommendation, but it's simply a very reliable combination. You don't always need the latest gear.
Sorry.
My first setup used a 90cm Octabox, and for the flash I use the Godox AD200 Pro, and just to mention it, this is also not paid advertising. The light was very soft and actually quite beautiful, but with this outfit it just didn't work. The leather jacket lost its texture. Everything looked very soft and because of that, yes, a bit flat. The image wasn't bad, but for me, it simply didn't feel editorial enough. Since we only had a little studio time left, I had to react pretty quickly. So I removed the Octabox and instead worked with the bare flash. Really? Without any modifier. The flash was placed to the side of the model and suddenly exactly what I had hoped for started to happen. The harder light immediately added more depth and texture to the image. Especially the leather jacket suddenly feels much more alive. The shadows become stronger and the image automatically gets that fashion editorial look. If you like this video so far, give me a like and consider subscribing. And now we move on.
Nice to meet ya, Alpha baby, I'm a leader. Good anywhere, just like a visa. I'm a whole damn package of the features. If you wanna drive the boat, I can teach ya. Stay awake, that's all I mean, ya. All I know is get a cream on a daily. Me, I might.
One thing that's often underestimated in fashion shoots, by the way, is the aperture. In fine art portraits, people often work with a very wide aperture, but fashion is different. Here you usually stop the lens down a bit so the details of the outfit stays visible. Especially with materials like leather, that makes a huge difference. I do the editing with Evoto. This video is sponsored with credits by Evoto, but I've actually been using Evoto for quite a while already. So I was really happy that they give me some credits so that I can do this video for you. Since I started using Evoto, I honestly hardly ever open my Adobe programs anymore. And now let me quickly show you my workflow. And so I will show you step by step what we have done in the editing part. The first thing that I have done, don't worry that the things are in German. It's because I live in Germany and I have the German version of Evoto, but you can get them all in English and I will translate the important parts for you or the terms so that you can follow along with the editing process. This one are the presets, and as you see, I have also presets like many other photographers, because I'm not the best in the color grading, and these are from Louise Blumensteng, the signature color presets that I have purchased, unpaid recommendation, but I like them a lot. And you can, in Evoto, dial down the presets the same way that you can do it in Lightroom, so you don't have to worry if you change to Evoto, if you can take your presets with you. And I have already done a video how easy it is to import presets. And then you can dial down the same way as you can do in Lightroom. Okay, and so Evoto works this way, that you start in the upper side and then you go downwards. The first things are like camera raw, and this part it's not so interesting for you because that's everything that the preset has done, so I won't show you this one. Don't worry that if you look now, you see that is not the edited version. Why this? You don't have to worry when this happened. All the things that you have done are saved. They only show up when you go to the portrait retouching, so that you see the image as the original one. And now we move on to the portrait retouching, as you see. And now all the things we have done are already back. And we will start, so, this one. These are pimples and freckles. And as you see, I always use only a little small amount, because you don't need a lot. And if you do too much, then you can go overboard. And then the result is not as natural as possible. So be careful. I have reduced the texture a little bit, and then what I have done is, this is for the brightness for the highlights, to reduce them, because of the hard light we get specular highlights, and I wanted to reduce it a little bit, the brightness. And then I have, this one is for the under eye area. I have brightened them slightly, only at 20 as you see, and the lips I also have increased it just a touch. I always want to have a natural result, so I don't smooth them out perfectly, because this wouldn't look natural. And that's the most important part, or most important part of the editing process for me, that the result is natural. So here we have done nothing, because Wintana is beautiful and has so perfectly skin. But we have done a little bit of skin retouching, because there are some flaws that you can see that usually you wouldn't see. That's because of the hard light also. The bare flash increases texture. I choose it especially because of it, because I wanted to emphasize the structure of the leather jacket. But then you have to be thoughtful that the texture of the skin will also be more visible. And yes, I don't mind it, because Wintana has perfect skin, and because Evoto does such a great job. And as you see, I have done a bit of skin smoothing with Dodge and Burn, only 22. In this part, you have to be careful, because if you go to 100%, I will show you, if you see it in big, it's perfect, because the skin, it's all there. The texture is there, it's perfect. But then I give you a little tip. Dial down, because if you look it in your phone, it would be dialed down. And so you see that it looks now, for my taste, too perfect, because you can't see the skin texture. And so go down and go up, and then you can see if it's too much or not. It looks beautiful, but we have to agree that no skin looks this way. If you want to have perfect skin, it's okay, no? It's a matter of taste, but I always like to have a more natural result, so I dialed down. This one is the Dodge and Burn for increasing the highlights, and dial down a little bit the shadow, so that you get more contrast. I like it a lot. It's like contouring with makeup, and yes, but be careful with these steps in this part of the skin retouching, because if you go too much, then it's where the result don't look as natural anymore. So be careful. What I have done, this part, I love it. The skin texture. I have reduced the brightness, but I have increased the clarity and the texture, because I like skin texture. And so I always use these sliders and adjust them a little bit. And what I have done also is that I have given a little bit of brightness in the eyes, because Wintana has very dark eyes, and the dark eye swallow the light. I don't know how to explain it more than swallow the light. So I give it a little bit of light back. And then what we have done is that we have done the hair refinement. And this, generally, I love this part of Evoto, because I will zoom in and you see all the little hairs are gone. With one slider, you have perfect hair retouch. That's, in Photoshop, I need ages for this, ages. And it was never so perfect as this with only one slider. And this is this one. It's the first in the hair retouch, and yes, I love it. I love it. And then you have the brightness in the hair so that you get more contrast. I have increased it a little bit because her hair also is so dark that you can't see them properly. Yes, and then what I have done is the background. You have seen that here I have changed the color of the backdrop to brown. And a little quick tip here also. If you let it 100%, you would say, oh, that looks fake, yes, but you only have to reduce the intransparence a little bit, and then you get a natural result, and look how beautiful the result is. And I have, for sure, what I always do is the cleaning of the background, because this was also a part that took me ages in Photoshop. And here it's only some sliders, 1 click, 2 seconds, and you have a perfect background. What I have also done is the clothes refinement, because it looks more polished. Here you don't have to do a lot, because the leather jacket lives from its texture, and some creases are absolutely normal. So if we would remove them, it wouldn't look so natural, but a little bit polished up the result. And so you can see this is the final after and the before. And yes, let me know in the comments if you like the result, if you think also that Evoto does a great job. And that's how this image came together, with a very simple setup and just one small change in the lighting. Sometimes the best images really happen in the last few minutes of a shoot. And if you enjoy editorial or fashion photography, make sure to watch the video I've linked right here or here. In that one, I show you another shoot, and we will see us there. Bye!